Hello, welcome to another Looney Tunes review video. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to follow my journey to review all 1000 classic Looney Tunes shorts and give this video a like as well. So this is a review for The Wacky Rabbit, released in 1942. It's the 365th in the series and it's directed by Bob Clampett. You can find this on the Looney Tunes Gold Collection Volume 5 DVD set. A HD version has since become available, and it's in the public domain, so at the end of this review I'll have the full cartoon playing for you. How about that? Now for consistency's sake, yeah, you can see the cartoon later, but just to let you know what happens here, Elmer is out prospecting for gold, and while he's doing so, he gets annoyed by Bugs Bunny, who seems to want to annoy him just because he wants to. He's not wronged or anything. This is very much a hallmark of an early Bugs Bunny short anyway, which we'll be discussing very shortly. So first up, you're going to see a re-edit of the original commentary. It's still up on the channel, but again, for consistency's sake, I thought I'd put the highlights here, and then you're going to hear some new thoughts from me. So without further ado, let's get into it. With me today to sing Oh Susanna is Blue Genocide. Say, whoa, Susanna!
Oh, Susanna, don't you cry for me. No fan of lots of gold before victory.
So we... I used to sing this a lot when I would see this, because this cartoon was everywhere, public domain, just everywhere.
I think it's a pretty solid one. It's not one of my personal favorites, but it's pretty funny.
I want to point out something, and I want to see if you agree with me, Blue. Okay, I was discussing this one with Devin Baxter, and regarding the fact, who, by the way, he's a historian and film restorer and all that. It was interesting that this one, Bugs seems to just want to be the aggressor just because. Like, Elmer doesn't do anything to Bugs here at all.
Yeah.
Like, Elmer's just, looking for gold, and Bugs is like, oh yeah, I'll torment this guy for the next, 6 or so minutes, and that's it. Whereas in a later film, like if you look at The Case of the Missing Hair, you have the magician, he's putting up his, posters, and he's basically annoying Bugs, who's living in one of the tree holes or wherever it was in that one. They could have had maybe Elmer sort of digging for gold, and he's digging in maybe in Bugs' home or something, and then he annoys Bugs, and then Bugs is like, okay, this means war kind of thing. I mean, what do you think?
I want to bring up a little thing that I've noticed with this particular short, and really nowhere else, because yes, Bugs being the aggressor is often cited as a reason why some of the Clampett shorts of this period don't work. I do want to note, though, that he says it's that screwy rabbit again. These cartoons aren't supposed to have continuity, and I know that, but I don't think they had figured that out just yet. Maybe at this point, Clampett was like, look, we've had, a couple of these, Elmer and Bugs pictures. Why do we need to explain to the audience who they are again? It's leaning right against that cactus. That can't feel good.
and I just like how Bugs just casually just pokes him in the butt like that. That was just...
Oh, yeah. That scream is also great, too.
I really like this one, and the nostalgia does play a big part in it, because, again, so many... all these low-grade public domain, videotape outlets could just put this one on with no problems, along with heaps of Popeyes and
oh yeah,
and of course The Case of the Missing Hair. I think that's another one. So, but I like this. This scene gets me every time. It's like, go over there, where? just gets me. Just such a stupid gag.
Yeah, it's gold. Literally, it's gold.
Yeah, it's like pun, of course.
pun.
Now look at the pickaxe here, right? So he's got the pickaxe. He's holding on. It's in there. There's Ron Scribner again.
Oh yeah, I love his reaction by Bugs here. That face, that's great.
Yep. Now keep an eye on the pickaxe. Keep an eye on the pickaxe.
Yep.
And he's gone. Where's the continuity? I'll be like the comic book guy who says, "Where's the continuity?" And
I was wondering when the Simpsons reference was going to come up in this recording session. I realized there were a minute left of the recording, and I didn't even talk about my theory about how this was mostly also an Avery cartoon.
I mean, I think it's safe to say, Avery had no involvement, maybe an influence, but
See, I feel like this would have at least been planned out. I mean, I know I have no historical evidence of that, but I think in like the recent Bugs documentary, they talk about how, well, at least through archival stuff, that Clampett started after Wacky Wabbit, where Wacky Wabbit was the last one of Avery's that he had to finish. It was in one of those documentaries. I know that.
Okay, but as far as I'm aware, this is pure Clampett, but, you know, if there's any other info, you know, definitely let us know. I mean, and look at the smears. Look at the smears there. That was just incredible.
That was great, yeah.
And of course, you can get no other person but Rod Scribner to do this wonderful grin.
Thumbnail, wonderful. Right?
Probably, yeah. So once again, the original commentary stop if you want to watch the whole thing in full. But let's take a look at a few things I've noticed here. So one of the things I really found interesting were the inconsistencies of the backgrounds. So around the beginning, you've got shots that alternate between being in a cave and being outdoors. And Clampett's attention to detail usually isn't this bad. He's actually pretty good. So I'm just wondering if it was just a case of him mixing up scenes later on when it became too late to change anything. I don't know. It's just one of those things, I guess, that's lost to time. But it's very weird. But hey, considering how good the cartoon actually is, it's one of those things you probably won't even notice unless you're really looking for it. And hopefully I have not ruined the cartoon for you by pointing it out. So as we look in the beginning, so by this point, the USA had entered the war due to the attack on Pearl Harbor, and even in shorts like this, which have nothing to do with the war whatsoever, we'd see things like the signs regarding buy bonds and that sort of thing. So it's very much a product of his time, but again, it doesn't really hurt the cartoon. It's just there anyway, and you just have to understand that, yeah, this came out in 1942. Now, I watched this one a lot, and I'm betting a lot of you may have watched this one a lot too, because it's in the public domain. It's all over YouTube as well. And as a kid, I'd watch this one on one of those lower grade VHS tapes, and I've always loved the Oh Susanna in this short. Just the way that Elmer sings it with his own lyrics. And again, another war reference, he even says V for victory. And that ridiculous backpack, it's beautiful. It's like, you know, chef's kiss, wonderful cherry on top. And he even sings a verse that's full of R words they sings as W, and you'd have to think that the writers would have factored that in. It's like, you know what? Let's do a whole verse where it's just nothing but R words. Blue mentions in the commentary, the short really is about Bugs just wanting to torment this goofy-looking and sounding fat guy. No, he's not wronged in any way, shape, or form. He's just minding his own business, by himself, wanting to prospect for gold and get rich, hopefully. And Bugs is like, nah, this guy looks like an idiot, I'm just going to mess with him. Yeah, at this stage, you're still figuring Bugs out, of course, and Blue seems to think that even this one may have had Tex Avery's involvement, even if it's very limited around the beginning. Maybe he hatched this as an idea, so who knows? Again, it's information lost to time.
Good evening, friends!
Now, when Bugs goes, good evening, friends, that whole bit, and that's a take on Al Jolson, who would do such things, and he actually had a song in the movie Wonderbar called Good Evening, so it's probably just a play on that. But yeah, that's pretty much what Al Jolson did. He'd do that "Hey Mammy" kind of thing. He would go on his knees and then just sing his heart out. I love some of the added touches here, which it may not be really, really funny or anything, but it's just wonderful to see. Like when Bugs just has an elevator that takes him up to the surface. It's just, you know what? What's a funny way of getting Bugs back to the surface and into the shot again? We'll just have him go up an elevator. Why not? Why not? And this, for me, marks the first short where the shackles have really come off with the animators once Clampett now takes over Tex Avery's unit. And that's not to say that the animators were hindered in any way when they were working under Tex Avery or Bob Clampett's old unit or anything like that, but it just feels like here the light switched on and it's like, oh, let's just go nuts, and Rod Scribner is easily the highlight here. And they even got added touches like the screen that leaves behind outlines for a few frames. Clearly Clampett is having a lot of fun with this one, and this beautiful HD restoration just showcases it to the fullest. And as a kid, when I watched this short, my goodness, just that ridiculous gag where Elmer would mark X, you'd think he's going to hit X, No, but he just digs elsewhere. It's just one of those dumb jokes that I just love. It's just ridiculous, but I always love that. Now, if you want a comparison to Elmer's Scream done by Arthur Q. Bryan and Elmer's Scream done by Mel Blanc, you've got both of them here. So you've got at one point Arthur Q. Bryan screaming, and then we got Mel Blanc screaming. So you can pretty much tell, but as great as Arthur Q. Bryan's voice is, I do like that added touch that Mel Blanc's scream is. Later on in What's Opera Doc, there'll be something similar where Arthur Q. Bryan would yell at Smug, but Jones apparently felt it wasn't powerful enough, so he had Mel Blanc do the whole Smug. And later on, we get these wonderful smears, and we get a nice little moment where it's fun to freeze frame Elmer getting knocked out. And at one point, I love the guitar slide effect that Treg Brand liked to use in a lot of shorts. It just, some of these choices may sound odd, but then when he's watching the short, it just works perfectly, and I can't think of any other way that would have done a lot of these things. And yeah, we also see that Elmer wears a girdle. Not the first time we're going to see that happen in a Fat Elmer short. And I also believe this is the first time Bugs says, "Ain't I a stinker?" I don't recall him saying it earlier in any other short. If I'm mistaken, definitely let me know. But I believe this is the first time he says, "Hey, ain't I a stinker?"
Gosh, ain't I a stinker?
And towards the end, we get a moment that just gets all dramatic where Bugs' hands are just shown for dramatic effect. We're like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. And just the way the shot just starts slowly zooming in on him in a dramatic effect. It just works brilliantly. But wow, I gotta say, this short is one of Clampett's best. And yeah, okay, Bugs' character's not fully developed, and yeah, he comes across as a jerk here, but this is just a whole lot of fun, and Clampett clearly is now just going to town with a lot of the animation here. This one gets a 9 out of 10. A lot of the nostalgia does play into here, I'll admit, but it's a great one, and you can see for yourself if you haven't seen this one. So, as for the review, that's all done. So, thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.
I'll dig and dig and dig and dig, I'll never get enough. I twamp the prairies and the plains, I trudge each weary mile. I'll twamp and trudge and trudge and twamp until I make my pile. Whoa, Susanna, don't you cry for me. I'm gonna dig up lots of gold, V for victory. Oh, da 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 da. I did I did I did I die die did I die 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 die. I did I did I die die did I lie lie did I. Did oh did oh do 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 do. Did I die die did I die die did I die 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 die. Did I die die.
Hi, neighbor.
Did I did. Oh, hello. I'm a wagged, rugged lover of the wild and woolly west. Of all the things I haven't got, I like gold the best. Oh, it rained all night, the day I wept. The weather is so dry. It was so warm, I froze to death. Susanna, don't you cry. Oh, Susanna, don't you cry for me. I'm gonna get me lots of gold before victory.
Good evening, friends.
Hey, there's something awfully screwy going on around here.
What's up, Doc?
Well, one of the strangest things.
Boo! Hey, smart boy.
That's that Scooey Wabbit. Oh, well. Whoa! I've been working on the railroad all the long day. I've been working on the railroad to pass the time away. Whoa!
Pardon me, Doc, but, did you lose it?
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much.
Gold, he found it! Hey, Eureka! Gold, he discovered gold!
Boy, gold,
Hey,
gold,
he discovered-
gold,
he
what with
discovered
yellow
over here.
gold? Where?
Over here.
Where?
Over here.
Where? Where?
Over here.
Where?
Here.
Oh, that's nothing. Well, I got one here.
You took a little rascal.
Come out, Mr. Wabbit. I have a little surprise for you. Don't laugh. I'll bet plenty of you men wear one of these. That's the last straw. I'll get that wabbit.
Hey, Doc. Hey, Doc, where are you?
Here I am.
Too bad. Too bad. Oh, well. Oh, bury me now. I'm the lone berry. Oh, dear, where the wild coyotes will howl on me. Oh, dear, gosh, ain't I a stinker? La ta ta ting, la ta ta down, la ta ta ta, la ta ta ta.
Wabbit, I came here for gold, and I'm gonna get it.
No, not that, not that, anything but that.
I got you. I'll show you. You can't do this to me. I'm gonna dethrone you, you wabbit. Eureka! Gold at last.
Eureka! Gold at last!